Welcome to the first session of Calculus tutorial. My name is Wolfgang. I am your teaching assistant in the Calculus 1 class of Professor Imans. In this video, I will share some of my experience in learning calculus. Basically, the goal of this video is to help you to learn more efficiently and more structurized. Okay, so as you can see in the title of this presentation, this presentation will structurize around 5W1H, that is what, why, etc. So by asking this question about calculus, we hope that we can learn much better. Okay, so the outline, obviously, 5W1H, what, why, who, where, when, and how about calculus. First, we begin with what. What is calculus? Okay, from its name, it's clear that the name is calculus. Calculus comes from Greek or Latin, whatever. That basically it's mean people. But in the time of history, the meaning of the word changed from just people to become counting, because in the past people count using pebbles. This class basically learn about infinitesimal calculus. As has been said in the class, infinitesimal means infinitely small. So this class we learn about how to count, to do mathematics of infinitely small object. Okay, I think it's quite clear and simple. Why? I think this question of why we learn calculus is quite important, because it's needed to motivate you to learn about calculus. Okay, we learn calculus because basically calculus is the language of the nature, and we as engineer, or that we will be engineer, of course we need to learn about the language of the nature. Otherwise, how we can do engineering, how we can manipulate something in order to achieve what we want. Okay, so this is a very simple example, as you can saw in the previous session of the class. Professor Iman has explained about limits x approaches to 0 of sin x over x. I think you guys still remember, right? The answer is 1. So, what it's for? What it's for, you may ask. So, what it used to learn this thing? As it turned out, as an engineer, I can tell you that this is quite a useful trick. So, because we know that limit x approaches to 0 of sin x over x equals to 1, we can say that, oh, okay, so sin x, or sin theta, if you use variable theta, sin x is approaching to x for very small x, that is that x that approaches to 0. And we use this equation or this approach a lot as engineer, so much so that my friend in mathematics or physics likes to joking to me. They say that, well, you guys engineer doesn't know how to do cosine or sine. You guys just approach sin x equal x, right? And I said, well, probably, but that's because we understand calculus. Okay, the other example is from my childhood, and I think you you guys also ever heard about these things. That is one punch man, basically a person that can punch once, and the one that he punched will knock out instantly. How so? Is it has anything to do with calculus? Yes, of course, obviously. Why? As you can see, that in order to deliver a deadly punch from second Newton's law, we know that force equals to mass times acceleration. So the key of doing one punch man is either increase the mass or increase acceleration. So that's what basically the boxer learns in their boxing exercise. Yes, what the boxer do, basically applying calculus. Is it very cool? Isn't it? Okay, the next question will be who is the one that do the learning of the calculus? The answer, I think, is quite obvious for all of us, but I think I need still to remind you. The one that do the learning is you, the student. Why? Because that's the only way. I mean, Professor Iman can teach you as good as he can, as good as any human can. But if you do not want to learn, if you do not do the learning, that means nothing. You will learn nothing. Okay, so you are the one that do the learning. So what is the task? What will Professor Imans do, or what I will do? Do we learn calculus? Yes, we did learn calculus. So we don't need to learn it anymore, and we apply calculus in our research, more or less. Professor Iman will make your learning experience more structurized, and he will ensure that the quality of your learning process will meet the standard that is established in this NTUST. That's basically what he will do. That's what he's doing for you. And I, as your TA, basically, well, I'm just a student, just like you, but I am a little bit older than you, so I have done my calculus class and of course succeeded in it. So what I will do is basically just like this. I will share my experience in solving the calculus. So basically, just like in the if learning calculus is a journey, I'm your tour guide. I will tell you how to climb the mountain, what fruit you can eat, what fruit you cannot eat, how to avoid the tiger, etc., etc. Okay, I think that's quite of course you can approach me in the Moodle system, that the one that you watch this video from, and I will try my best to help you to succeed in doing the calculus learning. Okay, I think it's clear about the who. The next question will be where. Where? Well, obviously because of the pandemic, there is two ways, online and offline. Online, to be honest, as we know, is not quite ideal, but it is the reality that we must face for now. But I think in the next session, we all can do the offline, so it will be much better for all of us. Next will be when. Okay, the when is quite important now, because maybe you as international student do not know, but for the next 2 Friday we will have a vacancy, we will have a holiday, because the next Friday on the 2nd of October will be the Mid-Autumn Festival, and the next Friday will be the National Day of Republic of China, so there will be no class or tutorial. It is good and bad. Because it is good because, well, we have holiday, you and I have holiday, and who don't like it? But it's mean that you must learn as soon as possible. You must learn calculus as early as possible. I think that's all I can say about I think it's the most important suggestion that I can give to you, because this semester I believe you do not only learn calculus, right? You must learn physics, biology, chemistry, the labs, sport, physical education, etc., etc. So, but and I think realistically, calculus is one of the hardest subject for this semester. But luckily, I think you have some experience like with the calculus in the high school, so you can start early. You can learn much more advanced than the class by reading the book and doing some exercise. Okay, for the exercise in this tutorial, I will take from the James Stewart Calculus 9 edition, the same as being used by Professor Iman in the class. And basically you need to do the homework, to do the last exercise of every chapter, the odd number. Okay, actually for the chapter 1 and chapter 2 you need to do the all odd number exercise in the last exercise of every chapter. Well, if you confuse, you can just open the Moodle, and I have been upload all of the problem there. For the next chapter 3 and more, I will choose some, because the number of the problem will be much more than the first and second chapter. Well, how to say it nicely? Basically, this homework, you must see something like this. My intention is only one: to help you to learn calculus. So this homework is, I can say this, it is the minimal requirement or minimal effort for you in order to be succeed in this calculus class. So you must do the homework before the deadline, and I mean, maybe you can search online somewhere in the earth. You find the solution of this homework, but please don't do that. Not because for me, but it is for you. Why? Because it is really the minimal requirement of amount of works that you need to do for succeeding in this class. Of course, I expect you to do more, but this is at least do the homework, and please don't cheat on it, don't skip it, because I'm not sure if you skip the homework, if you cheat in the homework, you can do the exam. Okay, I think it's clear. I mean it is. I did the calculus before, and I met a lot of friends that do the calculus, the one that do this kind of homework, and the one that did not. And I can say that, well, this amount of work is the minimal amount of work. Trust me, it works. Okay. After that, the next question will be how. How should you learn calculus? Well, the answer is actually quite varied, because I don't know what is the most suitable method of learning of calculus for you. But one thing for sure, you must practice, because calculus is mathematics, right? And as you can experience from the elementary school until now, mathematics need practice. I think we all know this fact, right? Okay. The next and will be the last point in this presentation will be how should you answer in exam or in this homework. Basically, I think you knew it, right, how to answer, but I will repeat it again. I will emphasize again, just to ensure that you don't do the mistake. Okay, this is for example. What is the derivative of x cubic to the x? Okay, we all know that the answer will be 3 times x squared, right? I mean, we learned something like this in the high school. The question is, can you answer the calculus exam something like this? Well, the answer obviously no. Why? Isn't the answer is correct? Yes, it is correct, but still it's wrong. Why it's wrong? Because you don't explain anything. I mean, I think you guys know Wolfram Mathematic software or website, right? If you input this kind of problem into software like Wolfram, computer can answer this question. So what it's used for? I mean, in our works, we can use computer. If you are graduated and do the job, nobody cares. You use computer or calculator, or you use your brain and hand. Nobody cares. But the most important point is you must explain why you get this answer. Okay, so basically in this class, and not only in this class, I think in every class in university degree, in the bachelor degree or even more. The main difference with the high school is you must explain. So you, I think my suggestion will be things from the perspective of the professor. If you were the professor, what qualities that you want to see from your student in the exam? With this point of view, I think you will understand, oh, I will show this and I will not show that. So, and after you understand, you know basically what more or less the point of view that Professor Iman needs, then write the answer accordingly. So basically you write the answer because you want to show your capabilities to the professor. Right? These tips, as far as I know, is quite useful, not only in calculus but in most engineering class, but especially in calculus and in others mathematics class. You must always explain your answer. It doesn't need to be long. Nobody want to long and convoluted answer. We don't want to see the story. We don't want to sleep by reading your story. No. We just want to know whether you understand the problem or not. Whether you understand the problem quite well or not. Okay, that's all. So basically, try to explain as brief and as clear as possible in your answer sheet, and do the same for the homework. Why? Yeah, because homework is basically the practice before exam. This is when you can practice both your calculus capability and your capability to answer the problem. Okay, that's all my tips and trick. Basically, it's my, let's say, suggestion for you in order to answer, in order to learn and to answer, in order to navigate this class. If you have any question, please leave your question in the Moodle system. Thank you very much for watching, and see you again.